She is going to serve at least 15, I believe, and then be up possibly for parole, but she could spend a lot more time in there. But how do you feel about Mackenzie at this point?
Do that.
Hey everybody, it's me, Josh, with Hope, and I'm bringing you a really powerful session tonight. Many of you asked me to reach out to Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan from the Crash documentary. The whole thing was about Mackenzie Shirilla, who drove a car with these two gentlemen, one being her boyfriend, into a wall at 100 miles an hour. No letting off the pedal, no braking, and these two young men died, and Mackenzie was charged with murder and sentenced to 15 to life. And as I said, many of you asked a lot of requests, so I definitely wanted to take some time and really see if I could connect with not just Dom, but also Davion. I believe that I connected with them. Now, can I say 100% for sure that I did? I never can with any of my sessions. I do this for people's loved ones every day, and a lot of real, detailed facts and pieces of personal information always come through. I would think a lot of the responses I captured in these sessions that I did for Dom and Davion were very indicative of what they would say. And I believe the connection was there, but you make the determination. Now, this is the part where I tell you that if you're a returning subscriber and you've seen my sessions and you've seen me explain this process, you can skip right to the time code that I'm putting up of where the session begins. I've also broken up the session into chapters so you can go right to where it begins and start watching. But if you're new to this channel, or you still don't understand fully what it is I'm doing and how I'm doing it, it's very important that you do listen to this explanation. I make sure to put it in every session that I post. I think it's important. Now, as I state in all of my videos, I am an experienced medium, someone that has done over 5,000 mediumship sessions without a box. I don't need equipment to talk to spirit. I do think giving them equipment, boxes, and different pieces of equipment is important. I think it allows them to bypass the human filter of a medium such as myself and be able to give answers on their own, even if it's limited. Now, spirit doesn't have a voice that they have when they were here. It's not easy for them to imprint their voice on their own. And when I do capture spirit speaking on their own, it's through a voice recorder and it's an EVP, which comes through as a whisper. So this process of the Hope voice signature method of giving someone back their voice is really amazing. And that's what the box and that's what I'm doing. Now, I'm not giving them forward speech because then you can get false positives, answers that are not really coming from spirit. So I'm taking human voice, I'm reversing it, I'm slowing it down, and I'm chopping it up into 2-second increments and randomizing it. So it's just random sounds of human speech that they have to take and formulate their own responses with. And they do it. They don't do it perfectly. It's never going to be perfect, I think, but it's grown, stronger over the years of me doing this. And so many of you have been able to do it yourselves using my app or your own equipment, kind of using the same process. So it's pretty amazing. And I always tell people that anyone can validate the work that I'm doing just by reversing the sound banks in my app or the responses that I'm getting through the box. You can always reverse them and you can hear pieces of words or sometimes, drawn out words. And that will let you know that what I'm telling you is the truth, that I'm using a human reversed chopped up speech, that I'm not laying in responses to fit my sessions, forward responses. and that I'm not using AI. So it's pretty easy to, validate what I'm doing and what I'm saying. Some people ask me, why am I turning the dial on the box? Well, that's how this box works. Instead of having constant sound coming out of the box all the time, it would be hard to, discern what is being said when they do use it. So I keep it quiet with the sound running in the background. I ask a question, I turn the dial, allowing for about 4 seconds worth of sound to come out. And I'm hoping that the soul I'm speaking with is able to time up their response with that turn of the dial. So that's how that's working. It's part of the process. Some people say, well, how do you know it's really them? I don't, as I stated earlier in this opening, that I don't know it's definitely them unless they're able to give, detailed information, which sometimes they do, especially with loved ones, people's loved ones. But I don't know, and it's up to you to make that determination. I personally feel that I made a strong connection with these two young men. Now, if anyone's interested in anything else that I'm doing, working on my book, the apps that I have, the events that I'm holding, anyone can go to hopeparanormal.com and visit my site. I also have written an article about the difficulties of doing this work and the realities, the truth of dealing with, naysayers and dishonest people out there that try to discredit this work. And that's just, this channel continues to grow. It continues to be a positive place where I can share this work, and many of you can understand what it is, that life does continue on after this. So anyway, that's enough out of me. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so I'm running the spirit box radio, the radio spirit box. I'm going to focus and bring myself to the astral room and invite these young men to come and join me if they're willing. I'm asking that one of the guides opens the door to the other side. We are inviting Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan to join us tonight. Two dings. Two names, two dings. I've been setting my intentions for the last 2 days to invite them, and I'm feeling a lot of energy. The hair on my arm is standing up. So there's a lot of energy that I'm feeling right now. That is a sign of spirit. I'm feeling it all over. My arms, my head. Okay. I invite my guides to say anything that they would like, to use the bell when they can. I have the orb cam on, so if any orbs show up, light anomalies show up, we will see that. Dominic Russo. Ding. And I'm also inviting Davion Flanagan. Again, feeling a lot of energy. Asking the guides to please help with these connections. And I'm going to go back and listen to these responses that I'm hearing. I'm going to switch off the radio. We're going to move to the Pro. Dominic, I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to go about 15-20 minutes with each person if we can, roughly. And I'm listening, but I won't hear everything you're saying right now. I am listening now, so let's see if you can do this. Ding. Okay. Now, Dominic, I'm going to ask you, how are you doing? How are you doing on the other side? And this happened years ago. This didn't happen recently. So you've been on the other side for some time now, not a long time, but it's been some years. I saw the documentary last night. It's hard not to form an opinion in a way, and that's why I try not to watch these things. But I needed to understand more of what took place. First, I'm going to ask you just about how you are and what's going on. You know, are you around your dad, your mom, your sister, Christine? Are you visiting them, Dom? Okay. This voice sounds good. Sounds clear. All right. Another ding. I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to jump around. It's hard. I have some questions, but I also have to come up with my own as I do this. So, were you watching everything from the other side, the trial, and all of the stuff going on? Have you been watching all of this? Yes, I am. Okay, so you've been very present in watching this stuff and seeing what's going on. I see your sister is trying to, get the word out, keep your legacy, your memory alive. And I think she even met with a medium, it looked like, on her Instagram page. So have you been able to come through for your sister as well? Yeah, sounds like some acknowledgement. Are you hanging out with Davion on the other side? Are you guys, I see you guys together right now, but do you guys see each other regularly on the other side? Do you see him? Something see, I heard the word see in there. Now, yesterday when I was meditating and I set the intention to ask for you, I've got a lot of requests from people to ask for you. So I've been taking my time with it, but I knew I was going to ask for you. But did you know that I was going to ask for you at some point, Dom? Something here. Oh no. How do you feel about Mackenzie at this point? She's doing 15 to life. She is going to serve at least 15, I believe, and then be up possibly for parole. But she could spend a lot more time in there. But how do you feel about Mackenzie at this point? One theory is that she has this thing called POTS, I guess. They said, she doesn't remember anything. Some could say conveniently, I don't know. If she didn't have drugs in her system, then she, wasn't under the influence of anything, but, she passed out maybe, I don't know. But, you can tell us that if maybe, you know that. Did she pass out in the car? Do you feel justice was served? Are you happy? Or do you feel some kind of, I don't know, it doesn't bring you back, but do you feel justice was served, that she's at least in prison for your deaths? Was sick. Did she do this on purpose? Do you know if she did this on purpose? Since being on the other side, have you had an experience with the light, with God? Have you had some kind of divine experience? Yes, sounds like yes. So I don't know if that's correct, but so you have found the light and you're at peace and you're okay on the other side, correct? What do you want people that are watching this documentary that want to hear from you, that keep asking about you, what is something you want to say to them? Okay, I don't know if you said anything there. Anything you want to say to your mom, dad, or Christine? Anything that you want to say to your loved ones? You know, there's a good chance Christine might see this, or maybe your parents do see it. Seems like your dad's pretty open. He's got a spirituality. For him to sit down with Mackenzie and do this pendulum, do you show your family signs? I'm going to ask one last question about, what do you think about this process, about being able to come through and speak? Okay. All right, let me switch over to Davion. I have a voice for him. I'm going to give him, hang tight, Dom. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to go over to Davion now. So this is for Davion Flanagan. You deserve to be heard. I want to give you back a voice to try, Davion. You deserve to be heard. Thank you. There's a ding there, so it's an acknowledgement. I feel like Bell's been sitting pretty quiet, so here we go. Davion, let's practice. Let's see if we can get you to dial in here. Can you use this? I'm listening. Hopefully you just watched me and Dom communicate so you have an understanding of this process. How are you doing, Davion? Okay. Now I'm going to ask some of the same questions because, you might have different answers. You might have different things to say. Maybe he wasn't able to answer a couple of them. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm going to ask you, though, are you around your family? Are you checking in on your sister, your father, Scott? Are you around your family? Yeah. Okay. Sounds like an acknowledgement. Sounds like a yes. Do you try to visit your sister? Do you try to come through for her in any way? Show her signs? Divine? I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I think that one. Yeah, divine. What happened in that car, Davion? I asked the question to Dom. I'm going to ask you, were you guys trying to stop the car? Were you trying to, grab the wheel or trying to stop the car, put it in park, or just trying to do what you could? Were you? Has your process of accepting this and working through this, are you past it now? Are you okay with everything? Have you accepted everything that's happened? Okay. Well, are you guys, I should ask about you guys. I should just keep it to you. But are you harboring any resentment towards Mackenzie in any way? I see your father. He's trying to forgive. he's trying to kind of, work through this. And he said, one of the only times that he's been happy or has had a moment of happiness is that when he's used some of the money that was raised to, fund a scholarship for someone going to barber school, to become a barber. And, that's a beautiful thing. I mean, I know that's what you wanted to do. I don't know. Do you see any positive coming out of this? It's alright. It's alright. I need love. Something with love. I heard love. Well, I am going to wrap this up in a few minutes. I don't know how well you guys came through. I have heard responses from both of you. I am trying some new soundtracks here, hoping that they work well for you guys, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. I am going to pray for you guys, as I mentioned to Dom, and I invite you guys to stay just a few minutes after I shut off the cameras. I'm going to pray for you guys, and I'm going to ask that everyone at home that's watching, that can pray for you guys as well. So will you pray with me? Yes, praying something. Always just praying. Dang, maybe that's a validation that you're going to do that. Well, Dom and Davion, I really want to thank you for coming through. If there's more that I hear, and I may ask for you guys again, I may not. I don't know. I don't try to overkill it, and that's not what it's about. It's about love and respect and trying to give people back a voice and sharing this information with the followers so that they can see what your answers are, and that life does go on. So any final message you have now? And I do want to ask, what do you think of being able to come through like this, being able to connect? What do you guys, or what do you think of this? All right, well, hang tight. I'm going to shut everything off, and we're going to pray. And I look to share this with everyone to give you guys a chance to be heard, okay? I want to thank both of you for joining me tonight. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, let's say a prayer. I'm going to shut the camera off and we're going to pray. Okay, so I am doing a follow-up with Dominic Russo again. I have reviewed his initial responses, and there's like 15, 16 or more responses that came through pretty clearly, and I'm going to just briefly ask for him again. And I just sat here before turning on the cameras and connected with him and my guide, and just I'm envisioning him here, so I feel like the connection is there. One of the first things I heard was that you go to sleep, or something about sleep. Do you sleep on the other side, Dom? Did watching the trial and seeing what happened and watching the reaction of people seeing the documentary, Dom, did that help you at all? Did that help you and Davion? Okay. All right. I asked you about Kenzie, and you said, I don't feel bad. I asked if you were happy she was in prison, and you said was sick. So I think you were saying that she's sick, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's what you were pretty clear about that. Is there anything else that you want to say about Kenzie? Yeah, something. This was really important. I asked you about, seeing the light, seeing God, and you said, yes, we have. And I asked again if you were at peace, and you said he did this. And I believe you're talking about God. So you saw God, you felt the light, and were you talking about God, that he gave you peace? I said prayers for you that night. I asked you to say prayers with me. I envisioned you guys. I envisioned sending you light, and I hope that it helped. I hope coming through in this session, asking for you, giving you a chance to speak helped. Did this help? Did the prayers help you? Dom, I just want to say thank you for coming through, and I'm grateful that we had a chance to connect, and I send you brotherly love, you and Davion, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with everyone so they get a chance to hear you, okay? Okay. All right, man. This was really good. There was a lot that came through, and I had everything written down. I tried to prepare the questions for you and give you a chance. So continue to stay in that light. Continue to be at peace. Continue to come through for your family. And God bless you both, all right? All right. And like I said, continue to pray for everyone that, for Dom and for Davion. And thank you all. Always thank you for the support, for caring about this work and supporting it. And I send all of you love. And until next time.